4 drunk ranch hands drag an Apache woman to a young cowboy's isolated cabin and tie her to his porch rail like an animal. Birthday present? They laugh, riding off into the Texas night. The cowboy stands frozen, ashamed, but too afraid of consequences to stop them. When he finally unties her, she doesn't run. Instead, she pulls a knife and says words that shatter everything. "We're alone. It's time to do what must be done." He thinks she means violence, revenge, death. But what she actually asks for is far harder than that. She asks him to choose, once and for all, whether he's a decent man or just a coward with better manners. And that choice will cost him blood. Hooves and drunken laughter shattered the evening silence around Grayson's cabin. He looked up from his saddle repair, stomach tightening with dread. Nothing good came from the main ranch after dark. 4 riders emerged from the mesquite brush, ranch hands from the Dawson spread. Between 2 horses, her hands bound to a lead rope, walked an Apache woman. "Fletcher, got you a present." Wade, the foreman's nephew, slurred his words. "Found her wandering near the creek. Figure a man gets lonely out here." The other men laughed. Ugly sounds that made Grayson's chest constrict. These were men who'd seemed decent under the sun. But darkness and alcohol revealed different truths. The woman, maybe 25, with long black hair and torn dress, kept her eyes fixed on the ground. Grayson could see controlled breathing, someone preparing for violence. "I don't want her," Grayson said, steadier than he felt. "Sure you do." Preston jerked the rope. The woman stumbled but didn't fall. "She's yours. Birthday gift from the boys." "My birthday's not until March." "Early present, then." Wade pulled her toward the porch. "Don't be ungrateful." Grayson's mind raced, outnumbered. They were drunk and mean. Refusing too forcefully might make things worse, but accepting meant becoming part of something sickening. "I appreciate it, but I can't." "Can't what? She's just an Apache, not like she's a real woman." Wade tied the rope to the porch rail like she was livestock. The bound woman's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Grayson saw it, saw her understanding, hating. "You boys should head back before dark," Grayson tried. "Long ride. We know when to leave." Wade mounted up. "Just thank us proper next time. Maybe bring some of that coffee your ma sends." They rode off, laughter echoing until distance swallowed it. Grayson stood frozen. The woman remained where they'd left her, still bound, still staring at the ground. He'd failed the first test. He'd let them leave her. He'd chosen his own safety over doing what was right. The shame burned worse than Texas heat. Grayson stood on his porch for 5 minutes, staring at the woman tied to his rail. She hadn't moved, hadn't looked at him. "I'm going to untie you," he finally said. "Then you can go, wherever you want." No response. He approached slowly, working the tight knot. When it came free, she rubbed her abraded wrists, but still didn't look at him. "There's a creek about a mile east. Follow south for 10 miles to the settlement. I know where the creek goes." Her English was perfect. The surprise must have shown because bitter amusement flickered across her face. "You thought I wouldn't speak your language. I didn't. I mean, you thought I was exactly what they said I was." She finally met his eyes, dark brown, intelligent, exhausted beyond physical tiredness. Something less than human, something that could be given as a joke. "That's not what I think." But he knew it was partly a lie. He'd let them leave her here. "Then what do you think? Do you think I wandered near your creek by accident?" Her voice remained flat, factual. "They took me from a camp near the Pecos 3 days ago. My brother tried to stop them. They shot him. I don't know if he's alive." The words cracked something inside Grayson's chest. The comfortable story about being decent while working with reasonable people. "You should go inside," she said. "Pretend I ran off. When they ask, say I escaped. They're drunk enough they won't care." "Where will you go?" "Does it matter? I'm 40 miles from my people, no horse, food or water. But I'd rather die trying than stay where men think I'm a birthday gift." She was right. She should run. He should let her. But Wade's words echoed. Thank us proper next time. They'd expect him to keep her. If she disappeared immediately, they'd know. They'd talk. He'd become the man who refused their gift, suspicious, different. You can't walk 40 miles with no supplies, he heard himself say. Watch me. They'll be back, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few days. They'll want to check on their joke. Understanding dawned in her eyes, and with it quickly suppressed fear. If they came back and found her gone, they might hunt her, might punish him, might do worse. They were trapped. Both of them. Night fell completely. Grayson had lit a lamp inside, but neither had moved. The woman stood near the porch steps. Grayson sat on the railing, mind working through impossible scenarios. We're alone, she said suddenly, voice resolved. It's time to do what must be done. Grayson's heart hammered. He stood, hands rising defensively. I'm not going to hurt you. I swear. I know. She stepped closer. In the lamplight, he saw bruises on her cheek, scratches on her arms. 3 days with Wade and his friends. That's not what I meant. Then what? My brother needs help. If he's alive, he's wounded and alone. I need to reach him. She pulled a small knife from her dress, barely 3 inches. This is all I have. Not enough to get me home, but enough for what needs to happen here. Grayson stared at the blade, not understanding. We have to make it look real, she continued, hands trembling despite steady voice. Those men will come back. When they do, I need to be gone. You need visible injuries, evidence of a fight, evidence that I attacked you and escaped. The plan crystallized. You want me to let you cut me. I want you to help me create a story that gives us both a chance to survive. She met his eyes. You'll say I went crazy. Attacked you while you slept. You barely fought me off. Couldn't track me in the dark. They'll expect me to hunt you down. Will they? Or will they laugh about the gift that bit back, the Fletcher boy who couldn't handle one Apache woman? Her voice softened. They'll mock you, but they won't kill you, and I'll have time to reach my brother. Grayson looked at this woman Wade had called not real, standing before him with a desperate, courageous plan. She was asking him to bleed for her, to accept humiliation and pain, to finally choose a side instead of standing paralyzed. What's your name? He asked. Kaya. I'm Grayson. He held out his arm. Do what you need to do. Kaya stared at his outstretched arm, surprised. You understand what I'm asking? You need it to look like you fought for your freedom. Like you were dangerous enough that I couldn't stop you. His voice was steady now. How bad? Bad enough to be believable. Not enough to cripple you. She gripped the knife. This will hurt. I know. She moved closer, studying his face. Why are you doing this? Grayson thought about it, really thought. Because I've been lying to myself, thinking I'm decent because I don't actively hurt people. But letting bad things happen while I stand there, worried about my comfort, that's not decent. That's cowardice with better manners. Kaya's expression shifted, acknowledging something recognized. Most men never figure that out. Most men never have someone force them to look in a mirror. He rolled up his sleeve. Make it look real. The first cut was shallow, a line across his forearm that welled red. Grayson hissed, but didn't pull back. Kaya worked with precision, creating defensive wounds, a deeper gash on his shoulder, a slice across his palm where he would have grabbed the blade. Hit me, she said when finished with the knife. What? In the face. Hard enough to leave a mark. When they find me, they'll expect evidence you fought back. She set her jaw. Do it. Every instinct revolted. But she was right. The story had to be complete. He struck her, pulling the punch, but making contact. A red mark bloomed on her cheek. Harder, she said. They'll know if it's not real. The second blow split her lip. She spat blood, then nodded. Good. Believable. They stood bleeding in lamplight, both committed to a path they couldn't reverse. I have supplies in the cabin. Grayson said. Take whatever you need. There's a horse in the corral, old, but she'll carry you. They'll notice if your horse is gone. I'll say you stole her. Adds to the story. He paused. Your brother. Where exactly? Kaya gave directions to the camp near the Pecos, 35 miles northeast. He memorized everything. She gathered supplies quickly, efficiently. At the corral, Grayson saddled the old mare and added his rifle. You'll need this more than me. They'll ask where your rifle went. You took it during the attack. He managed a grim smile. What are they going to do? Fire me. She swung into the saddle, then looked down. You could have done what they expected. Would have been easier. Easier isn't always better. He stepped back. Find your brother. Get home. Kaya turned north, then paused. What you did tonight won't make you popular. I know. They might come after you too. Let them. He touched his bleeding arm. I'd rather live with these scars than live with being the man who let this happen. Kaya rode into darkness, and Grayson stood alone in the silence she left. Tomorrow would bring questions, suspicion, maybe danger. The next evening he rode to the ranch as planned. His bandages were obvious, story rehearsed. The hands gathered as he told them about the attack, how she'd gone crazy, nearly killed him, stolen his horse and rifle, and disappeared. Wade laughed. Preston slapped his knee. Told you that one had spirit, Wade said. Should have tied her better, Fletcher. You going to track her down? Preston asked. In the dark? She's got a day's head start. Could be anywhere. He touched his bandaged shoulder. Besides, she can keep the damn horse. I'm done with this joke. They bought the story because it fit their expectations. Fletcher, humiliated by a woman they'd given him as a gag. The teasing lasted weeks, but nobody hunted Kaya. Nobody questioned too deeply. Grayson bore the mockery, knowing it was the price of looking at himself in the mirror. 3 months later, Grayson was repairing fence when he spotted riders. His old mare returned. A young Apache man dismounted, movement stiff from healing wounds. Behind him, Kaya slid from her horse. My brother Nayati, Kaya said. We came to return your horse. Grayson saw the healing bullet wound in Nayati's side, saw gratitude that needed no words. Is he? He lived, because I got to him in time. Kaya handed him the reins. Your rifle is in the saddlebag, and something else. Inside, Grayson found his rifle and a beautifully crafted leather pouch. What's this? Medicine supplies, herbs, bandages, things that work better than whiskey and hope. Her expression was unreadable. For the next time you need to help someone and don't want it to hurt so much. You didn't have to come back. Yes, I did. That night you saw me. Not what those men said I was. You saw a person who needed help, and you helped, even though it cost you. Nayati spoke in Apache, and Kaya translated. He says you're welcome at our camp if you ever need refuge. Says that sometimes the place a man belongs isn't where he was born. The offer hung, an invitation to different choices. Tell him thank you, Grayson said, and tell him, I'll think about it. They prepared to leave, but Kaya paused. What you did that night, letting me go, taking the pain, accepting consequences, that's what makes you different from them, she said. Most men never figure out that being decent isn't about avoiding bad things. It's about actively choosing good things, even when they cost you. She rode off with her brother, disappearing into the Texas landscape. Grayson stood alone with his returned horse and healing scars. The ranch hands would keep mocking. Let them. He'd looked in the mirror that mattered, the one inside himself, and he hadn't looked away. He'd confronted it, bled for it, and chosen to become someone different. That night, watching the sunset paint the sky red and gold, his scars ached in the cooling air, reminders of what humanity actually cost. Not comfort or ease or acceptance, but something far more valuable, the ability to live with himself, to be the man he wanted to be, not the man others expected. and that was the only thing that truly mattered.